Well, hello. Hi there, friends. How are you? My name is Liz. My company is Hello from Liz Mathews, and welcome back to Floss Tube number 50. It has been quite a while. I am so very overdue for this regular Floss Tube catch up with you, and I apologize for my absence. And I'll go over kind of what happened and what's been going on in a bit, but I wanted to say hi. Today is April 7th. It has been 4 months since my last Floss Tube update. You guys have seen me in a special release video with my mom before Nashville Needlework Market over a month ago now, when I said I'll be back soon. And lo and behold, it's been another month. So I am very, very happy to be back here today, and I do plan on being more consistent and more regular. I know that's probably incredibly hard to believe, but just know that it is my intention. I want to let you know that today is going to be a long video. So grab a drink, grab your stitching, sit down, expect to spend a good bit of time with me today because we have a lot to go over. I am going to not only be rewinding through the last couple months, but I'm also doing a traditional floss tube video here today and just sharing a bit of, life updates, things that have been going on with me and explaining my absence. So because there are so many little sections and segments, I'm going to put timestamps in the description box of this video below, so you can drop down, and if you are not interested in seeing any little segment that I'm doing, feel free to bump ahead to what you care to see. The things I plan on doing in this video are talking about my stitch away experience. I was the featured designer for that retreat in January. We also need to chat about Nashville Needlework Market, and then I'm going to do my floss tube catch up. So 3 general sections. Choose to view what you want and skip the rest. I will let you know because I have been gone for so long, and hopefully we have some new floss tube watchers who maybe have started watching Flosstube in my absence and they have no idea who I am. I wanted to give you a brief introduction. My name is Liz. I design under Hello from Liz Mathews. I'm a cross-stitch designer, and I have been in business for 2 years. I am a crafter to the maxer. I like to craft, I like to do all things creative, and I share those here with you through my Flosstube videos, which come more frequently than every 4 months, usually. I'll let you know that, and I hope that you consider following and subscribing. This Flosstube community has really, really grown in these past couple months, and it makes me so happy to see, and I just am really glad to be a part of it. So I am back. Please follow me here on Flosstube YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, see when I post my next video. I do a lot of special projects throughout the year, new release videos, and other fun things coming your way. You can also find me on Instagram under Hello from Liz Mathews. Mathews has just 1 T in it. And you can also find my website under Hello from Liz Mathews as well. So those are all the places you can find me. I wanted to get that in before I forget and I get going. I hope that you'll consider checking out one of those other channels. So with that, man, you guys, it's like an explosion of things. Catching up on 4 months is not easy. So expect me to have tangents, to not be perfectly prepared. I will do my best to put any pertinent information in the description box below. Ask questions. I'm sure I will leave things out, and I will be sure to get back to you. But man, it is good to be back on Flosstube. I will let you know that this Flosstube video number 50 is chock full of giveaways. So let's go over the rules for those real quick, just so that as I flow through this video, I can leave that part out. My giveaways for shipped items are open to domestic shipping only. If you happen to be an international winner, I will find a way to make it up to you digitally. But if you would like to enter any of the giveaways that I'm going to share in this video, I will give you a keyword. That keyword is what I will search in the comment section of this video, and whatever keyword you enter, which I will tell you when the giveaway comes up, is how I know you want to be entered for that giveaway. Does that make sense? You must be 18 because I'm going to be asking you for your mailing address. And in your comment, I would love you to not only leave the keyword for the item you would like to be considered to win, but also let me know. I had 2 questions. I see my notes sitting over there on the couch. Very helpful. I would like to know why you love cross stitch, what it means to you, why you love it, how it makes you feel, and also maybe some keywords for what you think of or what comes to mind when you think of your cross stitch hobby. Things like cozy or comforting, like feel free to use those too. Don't feel like you can't. Therapeutic, stuff like that. I am doing a bit of research for some future projects, and that information would really help me out. So that, along with the keyword, is your entry for the many giveaways that I have coming your way in this video. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna share with you all of the information I already told you. First of all, I apologize again for being absent for so long. While nothing major has been going on, it just feels like it has felt like life has been like one thing after another. And after 2 years of, and dealing with all of those things, I felt like my coping skills, and I've talked about this before, my coping skills were absolutely shot. And I really just pulled back from social media as a whole. You may have noticed I was less active on Instagram and really everywhere because I just go into self-protect, do what I need to do for my mental health mode. And that's where I was. I'm very happy to be on the other side of it. I feel so much more like myself lately, and I'm really, really happy to be back with you today. One thing I have done is been far more creative than I was over the past couple of months lately, and being creative just fuels me. It makes me feel like myself, and it makes me so happy. So just making sure that every day I'm doing something creative to just ignite the happiness in me really helped. And I spoke a little bit about it on Instagram. I did a couple lives. I don't know if you happened to catch those, but whenever I've talked recently about having a tough couple months and really struggling, I hear from so many people that you're not alone. It's been a tough couple months. So I just wanted to make a point to let anybody watching today know that if you are feeling that same way, know that you're not alone, just like I felt that I was not alone. See, this is where I get rambly and I'm like, restart the video, Liz, but I'm not going to. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Ask for help if you need it, and know that you can get through it. So some things that contributed to my overwhelming couple months, I guess I should say, is my dad did finally move. We made several trips to West Virginia, where he and his partner purchased quite a bit of property. They are very happy there, but I am missing him terribly, and it's just been such an adjustment because he's always lived so close. I've been dealing with changes in relationships with some of my friends lately. I'm dealing with some health issues. It's just the holidays, the pressure, the coping skills being gone. It was just a lot. And I didn't want to come back when I wasn't feeling positive and happy, because I know that you guys would see that. And it makes me really happy that I can be a little bit of a bright spot in your day if you choose to watch me. So anyway, I'm feeling very much like myself again. Very happy to be back. I wish I hadn't just rambled on so much about this, but I knew that if I were watching somebody and friends with somebody online and they disappeared, I would want to know where they went. So the long story short is nothing major happened. There was no major life changes, nothing monumental, just the little things took it out of me for a while. But like I said, I'm feeling very good again and very happy to be back with you today. Thank goodness for cross stitch and handicrafts, which I swear they changed the person I am and make me so happy. I'm sure that you can relate. So that is where I have been, and with that, I am going to go ahead and dive into my rewind, and we're going to take it all the way back to January 2022 when I was the guest designer at the Stitch Away Cross Stitch Retreat in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is hosted by Keepsakes Cross Stitch, and this event was a long time coming. It of course got canceled for 2021, and I was just very much looking forward to the day that the retreat would happen and I could travel there and have fun at the retreat. So I gotta get back in the practice of things. And so I have a whole bag here. I want to tell you about what I designed for the event itself, and also share with you a few things I picked up because I always like seeing that. I have no room when I'm watching Floss Tube. So, as I said, it happened in Cincinnati, Ohio, or just outside Cincinnati, I should say, in January. Keepsakes rents Houston Woods Lodge, which is a state park, I believe, in Ohio, and it's gorgeous. It's right on a lake. The lodge sits right like waterside, amazing views. It's very cabiny, it's cozy with little sitting nooks everywhere, and it was just a really fabulous location for an event like this to take place. It was very low key. There were, let me think, 4 stitching days where you just gathered with your fellow stitchers, sat in a room, caught up early in the morning to late at night, and stitched away and just chatted. Very, very low key. No classes, no, I don't know. It just had a very different vibe than other retreats I have seen, which are not many, by the way. And it was very low key and casual and very comfortable. On Saturday night, Saturday night, the featured designer, who was myself, got up and gave a presentation of the piece I designed for the retreat, and got to see everybody's reaction, present the kit, which I will show you in a second. And it was a great event. It was the first time that I was actually in the same room with my friends Kia and Steph. You guys know that we have been chatting online for 2 years, since the beginning of the pandemic, and finally we were all able to be together after lots of canceled plans and just postponement. We were finally in the same room, and it was so nice to get to see them and spend some time with them. So part of the Stitch Away experience is, if it is your first time attending, you get to go to the newbie first timers tea, which Barbara hosts one morning around 11, and she gifted everybody with this Keepsakes Cross Stitch Away bag for 2022. And I have stashed everything in it since then. I just love it. I will save that. So in it I have all of my goodies, my kit, all the things. So I'm gonna go through that with you real quick. Friday night was the night that everybody found out that I was the guest designer. It's kept hush hush, under wraps, nobody knew, which is why I couldn't tell you ahead of time, like, hey, I have this going on, I'm working on this, because it was meant to be a secret and a surprise. So Friday night, I was announced to the crowd, and we passed out, or I should say Barbara passed out this little goodie bag. It has, let me open this up. It has a few little goodies for the attendees, including a pair of scissors, and I thought this was just the coolest. This is a car decal. And what it features is the little freebie I designed for the Stitch Away retreat that is a little like sneak peek of the full piece that I designed. So I need to put this on the back of the car. I just think this is so darn cute. And what a nice, like, I don't know, little giveaway to get the retreat started right. Little scissors. So that was Friday night. And then Saturday we stitched until it was time for my presentation. And this is the piece. If you haven't seen it already, it was on social media. I don't think I shared it yet, but this is the piece I designed for Stitch Away. It is called Gardenside. And you will see that it is a sampler and a tree. And it's the first time I have done this for things other than my Days of Christmas series. So let me get this out so it's not so glary. So you have the little keepsakes house there in the garden. You have 310, the shop cat, and you have a border made up of spools and scissors. And I love this piece. The tree is stitched on Cyprus linen from Fiber On A Whim, while the sampler is stitched on a just a neutral color linen, and I'm very pleased with this. It was a new color palette for me. I don't often do these purples and these yellows, so I really enjoyed working with it, and I love how everything turned out. I don't have the models to show you, unfortunately, because they are at keepsakes for the time being, but I know that you guys will ask. This will be available in the very near future for you to pick up if you like it. So the kit that got passed out included, of course, the chart for those two things. It included the NPI silks to finish the tree. It included all of the supplies needed to finish the trees. And then I put a few little goodies together in a bag. Let's see, I can't even remember off the top of my head what all of this is. Okay, so everybody got, it's all coming back to me now, a needle minder. So it has a magnet on the back. And what I love about this is it's my logo, and it looks like it's been pressed in a terracotta pot clay, which I think goes really well with the Gardenside theme. Everybody got a sheet of stickers that they can cut out and use in their book of days or however they'd like, with the Gardenside images. And then lastly, they got a set of tags for thread drops. So that was the little goodie kit that was handed out to everybody who attended. It was a really, really fun event, and the response to this design was just great, and I appreciate everybody's feedback and love on the design. It's really fun to see people's reactions in real time. Usually you guys are watching a Flosstube video or seeing it pop up on your phone, and I have no idea what the reaction really is, but to pass it out and to see everybody's like oohs and ahs really was just so lovely and heartwarming. So that was Saturday night, and I had done a little shopping at that point, and I thought I would go ahead and share that with you. I love seeing what people purchase. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of crinkling as okay, so these are some bits of happiness. This is what I purchased. Sorry. It's gonna be all over the place, but I gave you the warning. Okay. Sorry. My purchases from the Stitch Away Annex included some stickers, because you know I'm still stickering. Still love the stickers. They're all these like cross-stitch themed stickers. Fabric is my favorite color. My magic wand, and it's a needle. How cute is that? I picked those up because I can't resist. I got one of these, what is this? A custom quarter. So you use this and you wind it as you would like a fishing reel, and it creates wrapped cording for FFOing items. Have not used it yet, I can use any help I can get when it comes to FFOing. So we'll see how that goes. I purchased this, which is probably the coolest thing or the most exciting new to me thing from the Annex. It is called a chart clip. It opens like that. It goes around a Q-snap if you happen to use one, and it holds your chart in here. So I was able to clip this to the edge of the table where I was sitting and prop my chart up because I stitch in hand. So it worked really well, and I thought this was the coolest, and I was like, oh, I should buy a couple of those just in case one breaks or anything, because I don't ever want to be without one at a retreat again. And then the only other thing I purchased was a stack of linen. Shocker, shocker. They had needle and flax linen there, and I have seen everybody go wild over the needle and flax linen, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it all. So I got this piece of, what is this? This is Thornfield linen, a fat quarter, a 40 count. I love a good neutral. There you go. It's so pretty. It feels amazing, and I have not stitched on this yet because I've been saving it to show you for months. I also got needle and flax Ticonderoga. I know how to say that. Ticonderoga, which is a more golden color. This is also 40 count. How gorgeous. I am very, very excited to use those. Needle and flax Steinbeck. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that modeling. Now this is 36 count, so it's a smaller count, but I saw this and it just inspired me, so I of course had to pick that up. And then I also got 32 count, which is higher for me, Fiber On A Whim muted Sedona. I saw this and a design idea instantly came to my mind, so I had to get that, right? I couldn't say no. So maybe you'll be seeing this in the future. It's very fall color, don't you think? Wink, wink. We'll see. And then XJudesigns Dark Mountain. This is my first time ever trying an XJudesign linen. It feels fantastic. I love the modeling, and I'll let you know what I think when I get to stitching on this. How pretty is that? Oh, I like it. So it's an extremely rainy day here in Maryland. Overcast, rainy, which was almost the reason I didn't film, and then I was like, no, I've been putting this off long enough. The weather's never gonna be perfect. I'm never gonna be ready. Just do it. So surprisingly, the lighting seems to be pretty good, weirdly. And then I also got, oh, okay. I got 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax as well. So you've already seen this in 36 count, but apparently I loved it enough to get 40 count. Not mad about it. So I'm happy to have those for my stash. That is what I purchased for myself from Stitch Away. Why can't I remember that? I was also gifted a few little things that I wanted to share with you because they are so cute. And I've already lost one. Marcy, I will link her below, made these thread tags, but what's so cool about them is they all have images from needlework or, you know, tapestries, anything fibery from her home, which I thought was just the best idea. So Mercy, thank you for making these and sharing them with me. I just love them, and I'll be hoarding them for something extra special. And then I had, what did I do with it? Okay, I'm going to find it. I probably buried it under something. But if I come back to something in a bit and I say, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show you, you'll know where it came from. I was also gifted this, is this called a thread bed? This has a name. It's not thread bed. I'm saying the wrong thing. Susan, who works at Keepsakes, makes these, and they are like felted interiors for you to put your thread bits and bobs on. It has a little hook for your scissors, but she made this and she gifted this to me because I loved the fabric this was made out of. Isn't that so cool? I just love the vintage look of it. The animals, it kind of looks like postage stamps. Thank you so much, Susan. I'm very happy that this is mine. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's gotten away from me. Shoot. Okay. So that was Stitch Away. It was really, really, really fun. I hope to attend again in the future. It's just so nice to be in a room with a bunch of stitchers, chatting about things that you love, putting faces to names that I've seen online for so long. It was really fabulous, and I thank Keepsakes very much for allowing me to be the featured designer this year. You put on a great event, and thank you. Need a swig of this? Because we are diving in. Something's beeping. We're diving into market. Nashville Needlework Market was the first weekend in March. Chances are, if you are watching Floss Tube, you've heard people talk about Nashville Needlework Market before, especially lately because we just had it. But it is a wholesale. Oh, it's not in there. It is a wholesale needlework show, meaning that cross-stitch shop owners come and make purchases from designers like me and my mom, and they buy products, carry them. It's a cash and carry show, so they physically take them from our booth and bring them home to their shops for stitchers to come purchase, peruse, enjoy, and this happens once a year in March in Nashville, Tennessee. Technically, it's just outside Nashville. It's in Franklin, Tennessee. And when I say booths, what happens is designers, dyers, product makers descend upon an Embassy Suites hotel. And if you are familiar with Embassy Suites hotels, they are set up in a way that the living area, the common area is in the front of your hotel room, and then in the back you have the beds. So typically in the front section of your room, people set up their booths or their storefront or whatever you want to call it, and that is where store owners, shop owners come, look, pick out what they want, and then purchase from. While in the back, you have all of your inventory. So when that purchase is made, that order is made, designers, dyers, sellers run to the back, fill a bag up with everything that people have ordered, and then bring it to the front, and store owners carry it away. So that is the basic gist of Nashville Needlework Market in the most simple form. I did a Instagram live session after I got back where I went into far more details and shared all of the what Mom and I's days looked like getting down there throughout the event and then getting home. And I can't link an Instagram live for you. If you go to my Instagram, which I will link in the description box, look in the highlights. There is a live story about that. I've answered everybody's questions, and you can get more information there if you'd like it. But market was fantastic. It is so much work leading up to market because, again, it's a cash and carry show. So we have to have all of our new designs ready, mass produced, haul them down to Nashville, set up our room, get everything together. But it was a really, really great market. We didn't have it last year because of COVID, but I think that just meant that everybody was more excited and energized to be there this year. It was so nice to see shop owners again face to face, and it was just really, really fantastic. I had 5 new designs. which are right here, and it leads me to the first giveaway. Told you they were coming. I had 5 new designs released for Market, and let me show you what they are in case you happen to miss the last special edition Floss Tube video I did with my mom, where I showed the models for all of these things. The models are at a trunk show right now, so I can't show those to you, but I can share with you the patterns, and I want to give these away to 5 of you. 5 new designs, 5 giveaway winners. If you would like to win Quaker Garden Sampler and Small, use the word Quaker in your comment below. That is Quaker Garden. These are actually 2 different designs. It's not just an excerpt. They are 2 different designs. Stitch whichever one speaks to you. I also released Berry Patch, which I was honestly on the fence about releasing. I thought maybe, you know, it's not quite up to par. I didn't want to release it, and it ended up being a total hit for Market, so I'm very glad Mom talked me into releasing it. If you would like to be considered to win one of these, use the word berry. I released the 6th day of Christmas, 6th day in the series. It is geese laying. There it is. You have a tree and a sampler. If you would like to be considered to win that, use the word geese. Pink Cottage School, which was actually a release for the Quilter Station retreat that I was guest designing at, one of the guest designers at, in September in Missouri. I did bring this class piece to Market this year. If you would like that, use the word cottage. And then lastly, Parade of Elephants, which is a collaboration with my mom focusing on collective nouns. Did you know a large grouping of elephants is called a parade? Now you do. If you would like to win this, use the word parade. So those were my 5 new releases. Mom had 6 new releases, and we actually had my aunt who owns Carriage House Samplings. She had 1 new release for Market, and we were lucky enough to have her model in our room, and somehow I went home with 2 of her charts. So let me show you what her Market release is, because it's so cute. It is called the Orange Tree Sampler, and I especially love this because Marty has just moved to Florida. So this feels really authentic to where she is now, and I think it's so cute. So as I said, I somehow came home with 2 of these charts, so I'm going to give them both away. If you would like to be entered to win one of these, use the word orange in your comment. But isn't that so sweet? So that's Orange Tree Sampler from Carriage House Samplings, run by Marty Barrick, my aunt, my mom's sister. So spreading some happiness around. There you go. Now, oh my gosh, there's so much I could say about Market. It probably deserves its own dedicated video, but I am not going to do that now. Again, go check out that Instagram live session I did if you're interested in hearing more about Market. It was great, and I'm already looking forward to next year. Now, Mom and I did share a room. We have shared a room for the last 2 years, just while she was helping me get on my feet, and then because it was so much fun to share a room together. So sadly, that is going to be coming to an end with next Market, because we're both we have too many products. We're too big to share a room anymore. It felt very claustrophobic at times because we were lucky enough to have so many people wanting to shop in our small, sweet area that it got too busy. So sadly, we will be separating next year, but you know, we'll still be experiencing everything together, doing the 11-hour drive down, having meals together, laughing, recapping the days. And I also wanted to say a big, huge, gigantic thank you to my primary model stitcher, Stacy Walker, who came down and helped us in our room this year. Not only was it great to have her help, which we desperately needed, but to spend time with her and to get to know her even better and just visit with her was just the best. Stacy, thank you so much. I know I've told you before we couldn't have done it without you, but it's true. Stacy really saved our butts. So thank you, Stacy. I'm looking forward to next year already. And at Market, I'm so out of practice. I feel like I'm like all over the place. I apologize. But at Market, I did do actually very little shopping. I felt the weekend went by in the blink of an eye. I had plans to visit and to get around to see everybody, all my designing friends, shop owners. I had grand plans of catching up and socializing and visiting, but those grand plans sometimes contradict the reality of who I am and the fact that I get really tired and I don't have endless energy anymore. So I didn't get to visit with nearly as many people as I wanted. You know, I think I'm also very out of practice from not doing this for so long. I've heard other people say the same thing. So maybe next year I will get a chance to visit and catch up more than I did, but just being down there with everybody was fabulous. So I did have maybe a couple hours on Sunday to get around and shop, and I wanted to show you the few things I bought. I purchased this mug, Rise and Shine. It's all cross stitch. Can you see that? From Ryann of Wild Violet Cross Stitch. It was great to meet her. I've been following her for years and years. She was just lovely, and I was happy to pick that up, along with, it's still in the bag. I haven't even taken it out yet because I've been saving it. Saving all of these things to share with you before I use it. I got this bag. Isn't that so cute? I am a total sucker for a tote bag. Marshalls, TJ Maxx, they always get me at checkout with those 99-cent bags. You can never have too many bags. So I definitely had to pick this one up. Isn't that so cute? So again, this is from Ryann of Wild Violet Cross Stitch. I got those. If you could see this mess. I picked up some linen from Weeks Dye Works. I am going to be sharing this with Mom because I don't need full yards of all of these colors, but check it out. Aren't they neutral and beautiful? This is linen, colored linen from Weeks Dye Works. I use this a lot. I love the neutrality of it, that it doesn't really like skew to pink, to yellow, to anything. It's just beautiful. I got corn silk. Isn't that pretty? In 40 count, definitely a yellow toned neutral, but so pretty. Swigart based. And then I also got straw, which is one of my all-time favorite Weeks Dye Works linens. I love how variegated and old this looks. So I got those 40 counts, and again, I'll be sharing them with Kathy. And then I was kindly gifted a few things that I wanted to share with you. Needlework Press. Vicki and her daughter-in-law Megan make the Book of Days, which I love. I don't have mine for you. I don't have mine to show you today. I apologize. I'll have that for you next time. We have plenty to talk about. But they came out with stickers, and I asked if I could get some, and they were kind enough to gift them to me. So these are all available from Needlework Press. If there's any that you can't live without, you know I will be using them and loving them. Look at that. Perfect little sampler sticker. Thank you, Vicki, for everything. In a cute little bag. Arlene Cohen of Works by ABC gave me this cool little pen. I think she probably had these in her booth at Market. I didn't have a chance to visit her booth, but I saw her at the wrap-up meeting that Mom and I were on the panel of, and she gave that to me. Thank you, Arlene. I visited with Beth Twist. I just love Beth. We taught at the Quilter Station retreat that I was telling you about earlier. I think she is just, I just love her. I just love her. I wish we lived closer and we could get together more often. But Beth had these postcards, and I collected a little stack, one for me to hang on my bulletin board and a couple to send to friends throughout the year with packages. And I think that's all of them. Yep. But I needed those. It was a needful. I was gifted a couple things that I wanted to share with you. Beth Wiksen, who is one of my model stitchers, was there helping us in our booth this year. I just love Beth. She is such a talented stitcher and maker, and she brought a slew of goodies for Mom and I just wanted to share with you this one thing she gifted us, one of many, because I think it's so cute. You may have seen these before. I've seen people make them, but how, like, I think that is genius. I love the fabric she used. Thank you, Beth. I can't wait to put this in my bag and start using it. She also makes, what are these called? Flosstrings. So I got to pick out a couple from her, and we'll be putting my thread drops on there. And then lastly, Carmen Sutton, who has the company Cardan Needleworks. She is also one of my finishers and one of the nicest people in this community. Made this and brought this to me. Check this out. Oh, this is the kind of cording that fishing reel makes, you know. Look at this. Carmen is so talented. This is weighty. You can tell this is stuffed with, I would guess sand or walnut shells, and there's a little thimble in there. How cute is this with velvet? Carmen is she's so talented and so kind, and I will treasure this, Carmen. Thank you very much. Okay. At Market, I forgot to tell you, I meant to tell you this at the very beginning, but better late than never. In addition to the 5 new designs that I put out, I also released thread tags for each of the new designs, meaning there is a packet, there are 5 different packages, a package for each design, thread drop tags, and these are now available in my Etsy shop. Not all stores purchase them. They might not be too easy to find. So I decided to go ahead and put them in my shop now. If there were any that you wanted, you can get them right now in my Etsy shop, which I will link for you below. They are packages of 12 identical cards in a pack. Please know these tags are not punched because, again, I don't presume to know how you like to store your thread. Thread tags, thread drop tags are very popular right now. There's there are a lot of ways that people like to punch their tags, and I don't want to punch them wrong. I want you to have them set up however you would like. So they are the tags that are unpunched, and you can make them whatever you need. I, for instance, don't use my thread like this. I don't care for pre-cut lengths of thread. So this is how I would use my thread card. I made a slit here and a slit here, wound my DMC around, and voila, that is how I would use a thread card. The back of all of them have some lines for you to write in there whatever thread you have hung and stored on your tag, and they are now available in my Etsy shop should you need any of them. Again, not again. Also, the stickers that I released at Market are also in my Etsy shop right now. These are sold in a package of 5. one of each of my new designs. So you will get an entire set. Whether you plan on stitching all 5 or not, I figured you could still enjoy and use cross stitch stickers. So in my shop right now, if you want more information on these, hop back to the reveal video I posted just before this, or cruise on over to my Etsy shop. All the details are there, but they are available right now. The PDFs of my new designs will be available within the next couple weeks. But for now, I would like you to make your purchases for the patterns through your favorite LNS or ONS. Okay, I think that wraps up everything for market and leaves me with a traditional floss tube video. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a pause. I need to take some drinks of water and regroup a little bit so that hopefully the second half of the video goes a little more smoothly than the first. Again, I apologize, just getting back into the groove of things. So I'm gonna give you a pause. You will see me in one split second, like I haven't been gone at all, but there you go. Okay, so a really good thing about coming back to Floss Tube 4 months later is that I can finally share with you a bunch of things that have come to fruition that I had been saying, I'm working on things behind the scenes, I'm working on this, but I can't show you. Well, now I can show you. So you're gonna get a lot of that in this section of the video. I will go ahead and rewind to December of 2021 when Teresa of Kitten Stitcher announced her advent calendar. It was 25 days of products that included threads and stickers and designs and fabulousness, and I was honored to be included in her advent calendar. I was day 19, I believe. I was watching everybody unwrap their advent calendars and just wondering when my design Winter Garden would pop up. So this is something that I have been working on behind the scenes. I'm not going to talk about it too terribly much because to answer everybody's question, this will be available, I believe, this winter. I need to check and see what restrictions there are on it. But this is what I designed to contribute to the Kitten Stitcher Advent Calendar. I really quite love this, and I'm happy that you guys were interested in getting your hands on it too. Again, you will be able to do that in the future. That Advent Calendar was really, really good. I also was very honored to be asked to join the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher crew this year. Oh, shoot. I am just, okay, I can fix it. Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine is published quarterly, and I was asked to be a contributor for the year, to which I said, yes, please. And just a couple weeks ago, the spring issue came out, and it included these 2 pieces designed by me. This is the antique linen label swatch and pillow. Both are included in the spring issue. I do believe that the digital issues have gone out to subscribers and the paper issues are arriving now. I haven't gotten mine yet. I very much look forward to it. It should arrive any day now, but this is what I designed to contribute to the magazine. You can see it's kind of the same motif on both, and I was inspired by antique labels for these. There's more information in the magazine. I won't share it all with you here today, but that is what I made, and you can look for that magazine on newsstands now. Sorry about that reflection. Or I will link the website in the description box if you would like to go get a digital subscription or copy there. But yay, this actually made the front cover. It's not front and center, it's on the front in the top right corner, and it just made me so happy to see. So can't wait to get that in the mail and hold it in my hot little hands. But this is the first of 4 designs that I will be contributing throughout the year. In fact, just this morning I finished stitching the summer contribution, and I need to FFO it this afternoon. But yay, I am in good company in that magazine and happy to share that project with you today. I'm out of breath, you guys, from talking. I was also honored to be asked to participate in the Black Needle Society Christmas Advent box. Is that correct? I don't think I'm saying the right official title. It was the Nice List, which was an Advent box for the month of December. And the theme for the Black Needle Society box this year was A Christmas Carol. You know, the classic book by Charles Dickens. Well, I am included in this book, which was the 25th day, or the 24th day. What's the last day? I think it's the 25th day in an Advent calendar. So this book, isn't that gorgeous, is a printing of the novel, which I do plan on reading this year. Let me flip through without showing too much. It is the whole book, and each section is separated by a different design. So let me find mine. I should have bookmarked this. Check this out. First of all, here is what I designed for the Black Needle Society. It is all A Christmas Carol themed. You know the phrase humbug. I wanted to include that along with all of the holly wreath, kind of as a nod to the ghost of Christmas present. So I'm going to cover this up, but you can see there it is, smack dab in the book, smack dab in the middle, my design. So that was a really, really fun project to be part of. I think this is so cool, and it was so fun watching everybody unwrap everything for the year. Now, at Market, I got to see Katie and her mom. They came around to chit chat about future projects and to, you know, just say hi. And she dropped off a mini version of the Black Needle Society boxes. This is cross stitch and lifestyle subscription retreat in a box. How cute is that? What they sell, what the Black Needle Society sells, is a much larger mail order box just like this, but they brought these little minis to Market, and I mean, everything in miniature is so darn cute. So you open it up. Inside you have a little description about what's in there. There is a sticker, thread tags. Thread tags are all the rage, I tell you. This is a little soy candle. How cute is that? And then check this out. It's a little ruler, like keychain situation. How cute. And then it also includes a ring for not only your thread tags, but you could put your ruler on there as well. I thought this was genius marketing, totally adorable, and I was really happy that they gave me one. And I happened, don't ask me how, sorry mom, I happened to go home with moms as well, and I thought that this would be a really fun thing to give away, a little token of Market, and just, you know, share the coolness of the Black Needle Society. I didn't tell them I was doing this. I hope that you're okay with this, Katie. I think it's so cute, and I wanted to share it with somebody. So if you would like to have this shipped to you, if you would like to be considered for the giveaway on this, use the keyword needle. Okay, needle. And somebody will win one of these. I'm so sorry, Mom. But let's share some happiness and pass it forward. So I just think those are so cute. And that is just one of the projects that I was really excited to be part of in 2021. So there's that. This video, I tend to like to flow, but this is like boom, 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 so PC. I was very sad to not be able to attend the Steel City Stitcher retreat, which I told everybody I would be at, and which I designed a free like a retreat piece for, a little freebie this year. It just, the timing of it all and the weather, I did have to cancel because, like I said, I have been having a rough couple months and I really needed to focus on market prep. So it was really hard to let the girls know that I wasn't going to be attending, but it's what I needed to do. The retreat looks like it was absolutely amazing. I chatted with so many people at market who had been and said that it was fabulous, and I cannot wait to go next year. I will not be missing it. I will be better prepared and really look forward to attending that retreat. But for this year, this is the piece that I designed, and at the retreat there was a very special finishing class where the girls of Steel City Stitchers helped get this piece FFO'd and turned into a really beautiful, fully finished object. It was really fun to watch everybody do that, and the pieces that everybody came away with were just gorgeous. So the Steel City girls reached out to me and asked if I would make this available for sale or available at all, and I chatted with them, and I decided to make this a freebie available on my website. I don't think, not everybody will want to stitch this, but it is there with their blessing. So if you are interested in getting your hands on this, it's on my website as a freebie, along with about 6 other freebies there for you. Go enjoy them, stitch them, and dream of retreats to come. Speaking of the Steel City girls, Jody sent me some fabric. Look at this stack. That green is to die for. Look at this. Thank you, Jody, so much. I just love it. And this brown, the modeling, Jody's fabric is so cool. Like, look at that. So pretty. She does a lot of really bold and vibrant colors that I typically don't use in my stitching a lot, but like, that's gorgeous. Or in my designs a lot, I should say. This is midnight perfection. None of these have names. I come up with names in my head, like this is obviously midnight perfection. That's gorgeous. That is so inspiring. Jody, you're so good. Oh, this is Holly Jolly Red. I hope you don't mind that I'm doing this, Jody. Holly Jolly Red. That is like a Santa hat if I ever saw one. That is so cool. These are all 36 count. Jody, why am I completely blanking on your fabric line name? It's gonna come to me. I'm gonna put it in the description box below, along with a link on how you can get your hands on Jody fabric. I apologize. That is very not cool of me. But Jody and I were talking, and she was like, have you ever tried Verdal, 40 count Verdal? And I was like, I have no idea what that is. And she said, I'm gonna send you some. It is amazing. It is so smooth and like velvety, and I cannot wait to stitch on this. So look at this collection of Verdal linen. I'm probably not using that term correctly. Ooh. Yes. This is like straight tombstone. Tombstone, that's that name. Look at that. What is this? I'm gonna call this Pansy. And then this green. Look at that. These just, I cannot get over how good these feel. So if you're interested in any of Jody's fabrics, I am going to link everything below, including the proper name. Jody, I apologize. deeply for not getting that right. This stack is amazing. It is luscious, and be sure to check her out and get your hands on some of this. I have been doing some stitching. Aside from the punch needle and primitive stitcher summer piece that I showed you, I am already stitching for my next set of releases. I of course can't share those with you right now, but something I have been working on that I can share with you is my smalls exchange for StitchCon, which I will be attending weekend A in June of this year. And when I attended my first ever retreat last year, StitchCon 2021, I was part of the smalls exchange, and it was like one of the highlights of the whole weekend. So you better believe I am participating in it again this year. Last year I did a Prairie Schooler still life piece. Of course I'm going to do Prairie Schooler again this year. This is Summer Samplers, and this pattern was gifted to me from a sweet friend. It is the old cardstock, so it's an original Prairie Schooler. There it is. Isn't it so cool? Originally $6, published in 1999. You know I'm a little garden girl now. I love everything outdoors and summery, but these are not smalls exchange size. These are pretty large. So what I'm doing is a little excerpt from this first one. I am doing this little bottom piece right here. So basically like that. That is what I am stitching. And I have gotten a little start on it using the called for DMCs. This is my little start. I need to get back to that and get cranking on that because June will be here before you know it. It's so happy. I just love Prairie Schoolers. I love holding them. I love stitching them. I love everything except their symbols. They were a little funky, but I guess if you're trying to fit the symbols for all of these on one thread list, you have to get funky. I am stitching this on 36 count Regency. So a small meager start, but more to come on that in my next floss tube, which will not be 4 months from now. I promise. Okay, I have, wow, this is a lot of, okay, I have, okay. I got some Happy Mail, and some of this Happy Mail, most of this Happy Mail has been lingering for months, an embarrassing amount of time, but we're back now, and it's still really happy, and I still want to share it with you. I got a collection. I guess that's just my way of apologizing to these people for not sharing publicly or following up sooner, because this is really good stuff. And okay, now I'm just rambling. It's been too long. I'm finally doing it. Here we go. This is a piece of mail I got from Pins Thrift and Vintage. This is from Kayla, and she sent me a collection of stickers. Stickers are the way to my heart, and these are all vintage inspired, and I can't wait to use them. That's so fun. And I thank her very much for surprising me with this package of happiness. And not only did she send some for me, she sent some for a giveaway. So if you would like to win a couple sheets of stickers from Pins Thrift and Vintage, then please use the keyword stickers with an S at the end, and you will be entered to win some of these sheets. Thank you so much for sending them to me. That is so cute. It's all vintage embroidery, like the kind I see antiquing all the time. They are so sweet, and I cannot wait to use them in my book of days. I can't get over how adorable those little farmhouse chickens are. So Kayla has the shop Pins Thrift Vintage. I will link it below. She's on Instagram as well, and she has also included a coupon code for anybody who is watching and wants to get their hands on some of these stickers. The coupon code is Hello Liz. I will link that below, and it gets 10% off in her Etsy shop if you would like to deck your book of days out in these adorable stickers. Thank you so much for sending them to me. You know how much I love stickers, and I am very happy to have those. Thank you, Kayla. Okay. I want to share a couple more pieces of Happy Mail after I share with you what I am now just obsessed with, what I am loving so much, and what I cannot stop doing, and that is quilting. Finally, I had time to do some quilting on my birthday. We talked in previous Floss Tubes, which obviously go back 4 or 5 months, and I told you how I was really feeling drawn to start quilting again. I had done it in college, but it has been so long that I was very out of practice and needed to start back at the beginning. I even did a couple like simple square blocks quilted together, and I just love it. I tell you, anything creative with my hand, I love doing, and the fact that you get something so functional, it just, I'm in it deep, you guys. For my birthday, I got all of the supplies I needed to do my very first quilt top with the help of my friend Kia. She is Kia B Quilting. I will link her below. We set up a Zoom call on my birthday, and together she and I quilted. She just basically answered all my questions and told me how to make my very first quilt top. I'm going to share it with you in a second, but one of the most intimidating things about making a quilt top was when you take away the fact that I got to ask Kia all the questions that I had, the silly ones, the ones I could answer myself. When you take away the fact that she was there to answer all my questions, the next most intimidating thing is what you are supposed to do with a quilt top when it's done. Like, how do you get that quilted? That big quilt you made, how do you get that quilted? Well, enter Jen and Keystone, I'm gonna get this correct, Keystone Sisters Quilting out of Wisconsin. Jen contacted me and said, I can help you with your quilting, is that the correct term? Long arm quilting needs. So, thank you so much, Jen. I am about to send you this quilt top, my very first quilt top to be quilted on your long arm machine. And Jen was kind enough to not only help me out with this dilemma, but she has included a gift certificate for quilting services for one of you, just in case you also happen to have the quilting bug or want to get into it and not know where to go from the stage I am at. So I have a $25 off quilting services to Keystone Sisters Quilting gift certificate for you. If you would like to enter to win that, use the keyword quilt. There you go. That enters you to win this gift certificate. I will be sending this piece off to the sisters as soon as I pick a backing fabric and iron it and get it all prepped and ready. But are you ready? Are you ready? Like, here it is. Here is what Kia helped me make on my birthday and beyond, because you don't make a quilt top in one day, right? But with her guidance, I was able to put this quilt top together. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand up because it's big, and I am so proud of this. I used a layer cake. I'm gonna have to put the information on the fabric in the description box below because I don't remember all of the details off the top of my head. This is one single layer cake. Had all of these different patterns. And I just love it. Let me back up here. Look at this. I made this. I made this. How, I just love it. I'm so excited. So I officially have the quilting bug. I have been quilting in my spare time when I'm not sticker journaling. I'm also quilting and it just makes me so happy. I cannot believe that women used to do this by hand. How? Because this is, as far as quilts go, a pretty beginner pattern. Now I am slowly getting more advanced, but how did they ever do this by hand? I just don't know. So hopefully in the near future, thanks to Keystone Quilting, Keystone Sisters Quilting, I'm so sorry, I will have this back fully quilted and stashed somewhere that I can look at and just be happy every time I see it. I have already started on my next quilt. I am doing an Irish chain quilt. That is what it looks like. I have made quite a bit of progress and I will share that with you in the future. But for now, I just wanted to tell you about my new obsession. I wanted to thank Jen and her sister for their kind offer and make sure that I shared that giveaway information with you today. So again, enter if you are a quilter or interested in any quilting services. Good luck to you. What's next? Okay. Joe and I have been doing this thing. If you have listened to any true crime podcasts, like I do, I love true crime podcasts, then you probably have heard an ad for this, but it's our new like date night activity. And it is, this is not gonna be for everybody, I realize. It is the Hunt a Killer subscription box where you're basically solving a fictional murder in your home by yourself, with your partner, with friends, whatever, little by little. Because it's a subscription service, there are 6 boxes included in every episode. An episode is basically a case, and you solve it little by little. This is our 3rd box. We've gotten 3 deliveries, and with each box you have a little objective. I'm not going to give you all the details. I just wanted to tell you about this because I had heard the advertisements for so long on these podcasts, and I was finally like, I think I want to do it. So Mare gifted us a subscription for Christmas. We love it. We love it so much, and it's one of those things that like I love so much I want to tell my friends about it so that you might want to give it a try too. It's really good. If you're into true crime and stuff like that, which I clearly am, I love it. So we've had 3 date nights of solving, and we have so far the little segments that go into solving the bigger case by the end of the episode when you get your 6th box in the mail. But it's really good. I'm trying to think. I might have a discount code for you. I'm not sure. Not at all why I'm sharing it with you. I'm just sharing it with you because we love it so much. We did this last night. This was our 3rd box. We poured a glass of wine after dinner, and we did a Hunt a Killer night. It's really good. So if you've ever considered it, I highly, highly recommend it. Okay. I think that leaves me, oh my gosh, 1 hour and 13. Okay. I'm doing better than I thought. I am going to tie this up with a few last little pieces of happy mail that I have received because you guys are just the kindest and thinking of me even when I have been absent, and I just wanted to share with you some of the goodies that have made their way to my P.O. box. Many of these go back to the holidays, and again, I apologize for being so delayed. but it doesn't take away the happiness that was delivered with each of these. So my friend Janae sent this little ornament over before the holidays. I think it is so cute. I love the plaid finishing on this, and of course it says my name, custom made. Thank you, Janae, so much. She had a great idea the other night. We were chatting because she had purchased a PDF from my website and suggested that in addition to the multi-pages of the chart that I offer for like a big stitch, I'm not sure what she was working on, but instead of just having the chart laid out in a large format, that I also offer the chart shrunk down, not necessarily readable, but just shrunk down to one page, because when she uses, what is that cross stitch program? Oh my gosh, my brain's not working right, you guys. All I'm thinking of are my design programs. What's the program where you can like put a chart on an iPad? You know what I'm talking about? She informed me that it's possible to blow up charts on there. So I am for sure going to be taking her advice. My brain is not working. And offering that as part of my PDF downloads as well. I feel like I just did a very poor job explaining that, but thank you, Janae, not only for the ornament, but for giving me that tip. I had no idea, but you know I will definitely make that change that you suggested. I was also sent a set of thread tags from Judy. Thank you so much, Judy. She actually took this photo herself. Isn't that gorgeous? And then the back of all of these tags say DMC, and there's a line where you can put the thread color, and it was just so nice that you thought of me, Judy. Thank you. And then before Christmas, Cindy, everybody knows Cindy from Instagram, Cindy Stitches, sent over this little button waxer. It's packaged so cutely. Look at that. It is a Santa button beeswax waxer. I have loved this since I first pulled it out of the envelope. Thank you, Cindy. That was so nice of you to think of me before Christmas. And I'm sorry it's taken me so long to, I of course messaged Cindy. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to share that. And then I also had a special delivery from a very special friend who sent me a collection of Prairie Schooler old charts. This is Santas 2, Old World Santas, a lot of Santas, and some more. But friend, you know who you are, and I just appreciate you sharing this happiness with me as well. I do a Santa, a Prairie Schooler Santa for Mare every year, and I'm thinking that her 2022 Santa might be in this collection. I just love these charts so much. Many of these have been re-released. They are not on cardstock, but they rather come in a like cellophane bag, and the paper is more computer paper weight, but you can get many of these again now. So if there's something that strikes your fancy, give a search online. You might be able to find it. If not, in cardstock format, in the re-release format. But what a collection this is. What number is this? Number 10. This is old school Prairie Schooler, 1985. I was 2. I just had a birthday, by the way. In my absence, I turned 39. I had a very low-key, but very, very nice birthday. And my 39th year, last one in my 30s. It's gonna be good, I feel. I'm working on getting fluent in French. That was one of my goals for next year. We'll see if it happens, fingers crossed. In addition to those Prairie Schooler cardstock patterns, my friend also sent me this book on samplers. I love a good sampler book, and I haven't had a chance to peruse this as I should yet, because look at that Quaker. because this book has been in my little Floss Tube cart, knowing that one day I would be back. And here I am, so now I will finally get to look at this and enjoy it. But thank you so much for sending all of those goodies my way. Okay, I think that's it. I am at least gonna let you go. I promise that the next video will be a little more cohesive. I will be more articulate, but I'm really, really, really happy to have sat down and filmed this with you today. Thank you for checking in and making sure that I was okay during those 4 months. Thank you for all of your support, for stitching my designs, for sharing them with me, for being my friend. Thank you for everything. I really, really, really do love this community, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I hope that you guys have been well, and until next time, find me on Instagram and say hi there. It's where I'm most active, even when I'm not very active. And please take care. I will catch you next time. Bye.